Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your monthly astrology forecast for the month of September 2016. The solar, the eclipse month. There is a solar and a lunar eclipse. And this is the Virgo Pisces solar, why do I keep saying solar? The eclipses that have been going on. So it's really a very important month for Pisces and for Virgos. And I know you guys have been going through it, with eclipses. And, they usually last 2 years in your sign and your opposite sign. And then you don't see them again for the next usually 18 to 19 years, depends. Because every sign goes through this in their opposite sign. And it does this is something that's in eclipses are always trying to make you, they're life altering, yes, and they focus on the houses where they are. Of course, your first house, which almost is everything, and then your opposite sign usually is your seventh, with your partnership, the very important aspects in your lives. And it's always breaking down what needs to change, what needs to leave your life, so you can keep progressing and bring something new in. So always keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be talking about the major aspects for September, and, basically how it could affect you. And then because I don't want to include astrology in my coffee cup readings, my gemstone readings, or my tarot card readings, because I believe most of you just want to get to the reading. So I just want to do a separate video here real quick. And astrology, you can get that anywhere, but when you are talking, because astrology is very complex and goes into depth, and I think I mentioned in my other video, my question and answer video, astrology is my baby. I know it, and I do the stars, the asteroids, and that. And it's very, very complex. So if you want a personal chart analysis of the year ahead, or whatever it is, or anything in depth, email me, and I'll send you information how to obtain that. So let's get on with this. Okay, Pisces. So September 1st is a solar eclipse in Virgo in your 7th house of relationships. Now, the thing is that ongoing Saturn Neptune square that has created fear and anxiety all over the world, and we felt it all over 2016, is making an aspect with this solar eclipse. So it's going to even hype up the effect. And eclipses always do, as it is. They're pretty heavy energy as it is. But that is going to be aspecting too. The great thing, we're going to see a relief coming in from that aspect and then we're not going to see that aspect for a few years. Yay. Anyway, so we're talking about your 7th house of relationships, what these eclipses have been trying to work on. We know that Pisces and Virgos have been going through really heavy relationship issues, and the 7th house is your partnerships, your marriage, your most important partnerships, whatever you could say, quote unquote, married to. These are business partnerships, it's just relationships in general in that. So this eclipse aspects, like I said, the Saturn Neptune square too, and it's going to bring up discussions and issues and confusion, anxiety, frustration in your 7th house area. So, it's just going to bring it really to light. And, I wouldn't make any rash decisions that day. I wouldn't, it's a day you don't make any decisions in your partnerships and those areas included. On September 2nd, Mercury is in retrograde too. It still is in retrograde at the time, but it does trine with Jupiter. So there could be, it's okay, on the day of the eclipse, it's one of the days doom and gloom, when you wake up, regular days, whatever, and you're not feeling great. You think the world's going to end and all this conflict and that. Well, the second is going to give you a relief. It's you wake up the next day and you're oh, okay, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought and that. So it's going to be it's going to settle down a little. You could be getting some good advice and great ideas, or you're just going to feel a little bit more better about it. And there could be someone close to you. You're going to find support, a good friend, or someone just close to you that could be actually just giving you some sane advice. On the 6th, Pluto trines the sun. And that happens like twice a year. I love it when that happens. Which the sun is in your 7th house. And and Pluto in good aspects. I mean, it's a good day to be reviewing, adjusting, reviewing and making adjustments in relationships area. It's to help you to make better. It's helping you to move into a direction to make better choices, and feel in your situation. I mean, it's excellent day for business partnership and ventures, making positive changes in your partnerships, especially in the personal partnership section. So it's going to be a day where you feel a little bit more in control over your situation and more empowered. On the 9th, Jupiter moves into Libra. Now this is a year cycle. I believe it's going to transit in Libra for about 13 months. I got to look it up. I'm not sure. It's going to be leaving your 7th house, and it's going to be now entering your 8th house. So now we're going to be it's a year-long cycle on 8th house issues. Now we're moving into, yes, we have the partnership issue, but now we're moving into the joint finances, the partnership money, the banking, IRS, legal issues, divorces, marriages, beginnings and endings, things like that are going to be coming in focus. Now, Jupiter is a benefic planet, and it expands, and it's lucky, and it's bright, and it's positive, and it's a planet of learning too. Now, in your natal chart, if you have any aspects in the 8th house now and Jupiter, those issues can expand and arise too. That is the thing that people forget about Jupiter. It's going to open and for good or bad and expand things. So if there's anything you need to learn, any lessons there in that, in particular in the 8th house, it's going to also be brought up during the year. So, but this is also saying there could be luck in these areas too. So, that depends on your natal chart. Like I said, financial support is going to start looking better, and it's going to be in Jupiter in Libra throughout the year. Is going to be in good aspects with Saturn now, where for Pisces and Virgos, Saturn was not aspecting Jupiter very well, because Saturn is in Sagittarius. Now we're looking at Jupiter in much better aspects with Saturn, which is in Sagittarius, and Jupiter being Libra. So that is promising much better energy there. On the 10th, though, the Saturn and Neptune square does come to like a height, so there could be their anxiety and all that from this huge eclipse we already went through. But it's going to start dissolving, anticipating less and less. That's the great part about it. And then we're not going to have to deal with this for a few years. Thank goodness. On the 13th is what's the 13th? Oh, the Sun and Mars are in bad angle. They square. And with the Sun still in your 7th house of partnerships, you are ready to, how do I say it? You fight for what you want. But it is not the best day to do that. You could be overly aggressive, and it could cause arguments. So I would just let things go. Have in mind what you want, because you could become combative, over aggressive in that. So I would just, wait for another day. Now on the 16th, here's the buildup, is the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces in your 1st house. Now, all the issues that you'll be dealing with from the solar eclipse in Virgo in the 7th house that's been trying to end, break down, and bring to light things, it's going to now come right back. Those 7th house issues are going to form that day too, plus, your 1st house issue. So it's all there, and it's all going to come to light, and it's going to show you. It's what needs to be let go of, what needs to end, or what is it that you need to fix, so to speak. And there could be a breakthrough in that. So you are looking at all that and something ending in those areas. So it's going to be an intense day. Again, I mean, watch your emotional self. You can get very exhausted and you could be feeling very high sprung that day too. On the 18th and 19th though, Venus, which is transiting in your 8th house, will be making a harmonious aspect with Uranus and Mars. So we're looking at money could be coming in, or opportunities. Also with Venus in your 8th house, you could be dealing with love, passion, sexual stimulations, inclinations. So there's this combination there. So it's just a really good, it's 2 days of good, positive kind of energy, fun energy. Have fun, enjoy yourselves. On the 22nd, Mercury does go direct, but it's stationed in your 7th house of relationships. Again, the thing is, the rule of thumb for Mercury retrogrades is 2 weeks prior to the retrograde and post-direct, there is a shadow period. I explained in one of the videos that I fare well in Mercury retrograde. It's usually I don't later. Some people go by the shadow, some don't. But, you know, it's just be cautious because it is moving slow. It makes sense. It takes at least 2 weeks for Mercury to be really moving along at its own speed. So misunderstandings and confusions that should be going on, because Neptune is also in Pisces first house. So there's a lot of confusion and that's going on these years. Starts to clear up a little bit too. So, and on the 22nd, the sun enters Libra in your 8th house. So, which is now Jupiter's already in your 8th house. So, now we're seeing, your 8th house starting to cluster. And joint ventures of finances, things bringing light to that, positive energy. So looking forward to that ongoing into October. On the 26th, the sun trines Jupiter in your 8th house. It is a very lucky day. So you could possibly, if there was an inheritance, you could be receiving that. You may get a yes to loans, or it's a good time to apply for a loan. Most likely it will go in your favor. Negotiating anything financial. You could be receiving some gifts. So it's a lucky day in your 8th house. On the 30th, there's a new moon in Libra. So things start to feel a little bit better. Things start to release. These heavy energies of the eclipses are passing, and you've got this cluster of 8th house themes coming up now, and that continues. So October is going to be looking a little bit more relief. Now, with eclipses, you know, it depends on who you talk to. My experience and what I know years and years of doing astrology myself is, for me, I've seen it. I watch patterns because my scientific mind comes into this too. So I watch patterns. I've been studying the patterns, and then eclipses, especially when they're hitting this, you know, me as a Cancer, I went through eclipses just a few years ago. So, and they really are life altering, but they don't always, you know, they start, the seeds are there and it is breaking something. It can take up to 6 months. It can take a year. And then even years later, you're going to see these maybe huge effects from it. So they do make, I know some astrologers don't agree. I know from what I've studied, what I have done, and statistics I've done, this does come in play. So this is life altering. That, you know, for me, eclipses, they do change your life, and they are really trying to get rid of what doesn't serve you well anymore. Anyway, that is your September 2016 astrological forecast. I will be doing my monthly tarot card readings tomorrow, and fingers crossed they're posted tomorrow. I get them done and posted. So please like, share, and subscribe. And it's going to be an awesome month, Pisces. Believe me, it will. You know, we, again, are the masters of our own destiny. Astrology, and that just shows us the energies we need to deal with. There's the heavy aspects, and then there's the great ones. It's up to you to seize those opportunities and how to ride with the harder aspects. Always look for the positive in a negative, and you'll be fine. There's lessons to be learned always. That's life. So have an awesome month. Hope to see you tomorrow with for the monthly tarot card readings. Please like, share, and subscribe. Love ya. Bye.